Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. And here's the kind of thing with cybersecurity. You got cybersecurity and IT. I think I did a video earlier about the difference and stuff like that. Many people don't look at that. Everybody wants to get into cybersecurity. But here's the problem that we have with cybersecurity and being online and the whole security thing in general with getting into sites. It's not passwords. It's not end users messing up. It's not this. It's not that. All of it is pretty simple with screw ups that are going on. Case in point, the banking issues that are going on now. Everything is being done online. Everything has to be, well, not has to be in general, but most people save their account, save their cards to any accounts that they're in. They save their passwords, which is bad news. Actually, I learned today how to decipher passwords when you save a password to a site, and I learned how to find out how that password is discovered in plain text, how to convert that kind of thing. So it's actually pretty simple. It's a couple clicks. But let's get back to the banking thing and how cards are being saved, especially with debit cards. When you go to pay for something online, you go into the site and it's always when you put in the card, it'll say card's been declined by your bank. You try to contact the site, they most likely don't get back to you or anything like that. They're not in a rush to get back to you, or they tell you, well, you got to contact your bank. It's not the bank. It's not the bank. It's not the bank. Okay, the bank didn't decline it. So here's what you got to do. They don't tell you this up front or anything like that. It's a matter of deduction. To get into this kind of thing with this nonsense. What you have to do is, like with the site I tried to get into today that I use every day for teaching you how, it takes you on a path, it shows you how for hacking and all this other kind of stuff, it takes you through the process and everything like that. What they do is you have to save your card to PayPal. And what they do is, so you save your card to PayPal, okay? And then what they do is they automatically deduct the payment from your account. I've done it last month, I did it. And I don't like saving it to a lot of things, but a lot of accounts are getting more and more that way, where you have to save the card for not necessarily auto pay. Like for this, it was auto pay. I don't like doing auto pay, but it's getting more and more to that point where when you try to go to, like I tried to go to they sent me an email saying they couldn't deduct the money from the account. Well, no, because I removed the card. And so I tried to do it through the email. And you got to be real careful with that kind of stuff. When you click on links or anything like that, there's little things that you can go through that you can, make sure you don't get hacked or anything like that, which I do. And I take precautions and stuff like that. But it's getting more and more ridiculous. We've got these apps that we have to save these cards. So anyway, let me finish this story, and I'll get to about the apps and everything like that and the ridiculous with the apps. But the thing with it is this. So I have to save the card to PayPal. Then I have to go to the site. I have to pay through PayPal to the site. So now I've got my card. I can't directly pay through the card to the site. I have to go to a third-party site. Now my information is saved on there, so the site can take it from there and go to. So it's being bounced around on these different sites to get the money. That's ridiculous. And I know I've done a video on the PII and the ridiculous of that. But let's get to the apps. You've got all these apps now where you have to download these apps. They've become the new banking system. In here, you have to save your cards you have to link your cards to these apps, and then you can pay for these things online. They have to be, whether it's Google Pay, it's Venmo, it's PayPal, it's Cash App, and all these other ones where you have to link your account to these things. Now, when they get breached, and they get breached all the time, and these breaches happen because they hit the database. Hackers hit the database on these things. And they've got all your information. And what they do is they tell you, well, you got to change your password. Your password don't matter now. They've got your information. Who cares about your password? The password had nothing to do with it. They got the database. They got into the database. That's where you messed up. That's on your end. That's your network administrator, your system administrator. That's on you. They got into the database and they got the information from there. They don't care about your password. They don't care about logging into your account now. They've got your payment information. And, I never save this kind of thing or anything like that. It's a great site that I like to use and I learn from it and stuff like that. But this is where we're at. And 2022 is going to be a disaster with this kind of thing, with these apps and linking these cards to it. And the biggest thing I try to tell people is you've got to be real careful with this, because a lot of times if you go on these sites, it'll have the little check mark at the bottom. And a lot of people don't look at that. Save my card information for future use, or keep me logged in on this device, or little things like that. You've got to, and it's right there when you log in. You'll have your email or your username or something like that. Then you'll have your password, and then right below that sometimes there'll be a little check mark, and it's automatically by default checked, where you have to uncheck it. Most people don't do that. Okay, now you've basically authorized them to save that or ACH you, and next time and they hope you don't remember, because next time what's going to happen is when you check your statements and stuff like that, oh man, they hit me for $35. You may have only wanted to use that account for one-time payment. And the other thing with this stuff is with the free sites, they want you to put in credit card information or payment information before you can access the free site. Well, why do you need my free site? It's gotten ridiculous. And I'm telling you right now, with the ransomwares and all these other kind of things that are going on and everything like that, come 2022, we're coming for a disaster when it comes to banking. There will be almost 5 to 10 million people whose accounts will be locked out. Because what happens is, when you call something like this in, they don't trace it right away. It goes to something called a back office. And you have to go through this back office, which is nonsense. It's just an excuse to go through this kind of thing. And it's not happened to me. It happened to somebody I know a couple years ago. It happened to them, and the nonsense they had to go through. And what they do is they lock your Social Security card, your number. They lock your accounts out until you prove that you didn't mess up or you didn't do anything like that. Now, they can look at this kind of thing and know right away it wasn't you, but to the commoner or the person that don't know about this kind of thing, they don't bother to say, okay, well, I called my bank, the bank's looking at it. No. You have to stay on top of this kind of thing. You have to look into this kind of thing. You have to do the basics for this kind of thing. This is why I try to tell people all the time, learn the basics with this stuff. Learn what you have to look for. Look for the things like this, like I said, with the little check mark or the URL or the little lock that's up on the top. I did a video just like that recently with the little lock up on top with the URL. It's getting ridiculous, and hackers are getting more and more aggressive, and it's not even hackers that are doing it. These breaches are not done by outside hackers. They're not done by European hackers. They're not done by this. They're done by inside breaches. They're done by businesses. They're done by U.S. government that is doing this kind of thing. And before anybody says, well, you can back it up, can you back it up? Yeah, I'll back it up, but you wouldn't understand because you don't know the basics. So how can I explain to you how these hacks work, how this hack works, how this works, if you don't understand the basics? And by the basics, I mean checking your settings on a laptop, checking what to look for when you get into a site or anything like that. Like I said, I learned today how to, I take these courses online, but I learned today how simple it is. If the configuration on the website isn't done right or anything like that, I don't know how, when I looked at this video that was on today, I just tried it and stuff like that. It didn't work for me or anything like that on mine or anything like that. I think what I got to do is, which is good, it didn't work on mine for my passwords or anything like that, but it's something where I can go on somebody else's computer and try this kind of thing and figure, okay, well, there's your password right there. And, it's that simple. But you've got to learn the basics with this kind of stuff because it's really, really getting ridiculous. Now, like I said, I do want to keep this site. I want to keep my access to this site and everything like that. So here's what I got to do. I've got to give in to these people. So now I've got to log into PayPal, link my card to PayPal, and then I've got to go through and pay this thing and everything like that. And then what I do after I pay, once it's cleared, then I delete the card. I gotta go. It's just a hassle to go through this kind of thing. And Amazon is another kind of thing where people save their passwords, they save their payment information and stuff like that. All these sites are set up this way to by default, save your account information, save your auto pay so they can ACH you every month or every 60 days or something like that, and it's ridiculous. And I'm telling you now, if you don't learn the basics, it's a warning. If you don't learn the basics for this kind of thing, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble. I didn't get hacked or anything like that. I got the email and stuff like that, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was due today, but it's just ridiculous that I have to go through this where you just can't put it straight through anymore. Them days are gone. You can't do this no more. You have to go through these third-party things to get what you need online, to get simple payments, to go through, because it's set up this way. It's ridiculous. I only did this video tonight because I want to warn people. When I do videos and stuff like that, I try to share my experiences. I try to share what I see online. I try to share what I see what's happening to other people and everything like that to keep people aware of what's going on. Everybody wants to get online. They get on these stupid apps. They get on TikTok. They get on this nonsense, and they're just going from here, and everything like that. They don't realize what they're doing. They don't care. It's like, wow, well, what do I care? And everything like that. I'm telling you now, if they get your account information, you're going to be screwed, because when you contact your bank is going to say, okay, well, you know what? We'll just close this account out. We'll give you a new account, and everything will be okay. It's not going to work that way. Sure, they can freeze that account. They can freeze that account to make sure, and then they can put in whoever it came from. They'll block whoever that was. Say it was Amazon or whoever it was, because everybody goes on Amazon. Nothing against them or anything like that. I use Amazon because everybody goes on there. But say a hacker got inside of your information or anything like that, what they can do is any payments coming in, they can block from Amazon, so they don't get any more account anything like that. Now they have to set up a new account for you. Some places might be able to do it right away. Other places might just, you have to go to that back office and say, okay, well, prove that you were done this. And you have to keep track of all this. And if you don't keep track of all this stuff, and you don't have documentation or anything like that, and the last thing you want to do is go through screenshots and send screenshots through text messaging and stuff like that, or through some chat bot or anything like that. That's the other thing that's being set up every now, is these chat bots that you have to go through, or when you call these services up and say, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. You have to put in all this PII. There's no such thing as cybersecurity. You know where cybersecurity starts? It starts with you. You have to learn the basics. You have to do the part on your own. They are not going to cover your ass for anything, and it's ridiculous. My thing is networking. I want to get into IT. I don't want nothing to do with cybersecurity. Nothing at all. It's a crapshoot. It's a waste of time with a lot of these people in the InfoSec and cybersecurity and stuff like that. My biggest thing is IT. I want to do the configuration stuff. I want to do the network stuff and keep everything up and running and going through that. It's got a little bit to do with cybersecurity and stuff like that, to keep things out, setting up stuff and everything like that, firewalls and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is the system administrator. They're responsible for the cybersecurity part and everything like that, to make sure that hacks ain't happening in the databases and all that kind of thing. But I do this video now to warn you on my experiences, and that's what I do on all my videos and stuff like that. I get right to the point. I don't do the fancy stuff or anything like that. I do it right from my phone. I don't do the big explosions in the beginning and the whole, this nonsense or anything like that, because a lot of those videos I don't like sitting through. A lot of times you got to sit through 35 minutes of this thing, then you got to go through the video and you got to move around. It's like, dude, just do what you said the video says. Okay, that's all I want is the video for what the video says I want to do. If it tells me how to do this or how to do that, or for example, say this video tells you how to bake and make an apple pie, and it goes through and it goes to, well, here's how I don't care how you get into it, dude. Okay, just show me how to make the pie. How do I make a great apple pie or anything like that? A home-baked apple pie. That's what the video title is made. That's what I want to know. I don't want to go through 4 minutes of the video, wasting my time, and then I get to a part, and then you break into again. It's a 9-minute video of nonsense. I don't care. Pay attention, people. Pay attention to these tips. Subscribe to my channel. Watch my videos. And pay real attention to what's going on, because I'll tell you what, it only takes one time. The bank's not going to back you up. The website's not going to back you up. Most times now you can't even get a hold of customer service anymore. You have to go through these chatbots, and you have to put in the information. And the constant messages. In order for me to get you into with the right customer service person, I need more information. What do you mean the right customer service person? What do you got? 40 different customer service agents that have to handle one specific thing? 8 of them handle email. 19 of them handle this. 12 of them handle this. It's crap. Pay attention, people. Have a great holiday. Happy New Year. And enjoy and pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention.